Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, the end of the year. Legit, I didn't even think I would see the day. The Error 404 Year Not Found finally is coming to a head. And I am so looking forward to talking movies once again with you guys in the new year. I thank you all so much for joining me in this year also. It has been such an amazing ride so far, but we're not done yet. If you're new here, welcome. Please consider hitting that subscribe button down below as hard as you possibly can if you want another place to continue discussing cinema and all things entertainment. Number one, it is free. It definitely does help out the channel, and you guys will be the first ones to know anytime I upload a new video over here. And if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing from me, please consider hitting that thumbs up button as you leave. I really appreciate that. But here we are, the December Blu-ray haul. Here is the giant stack of Blu-rays. Here we are. You know, it doesn't really feel like a huge stack compared to some of my other videos. Here we are. Yeah, you know, it still feels, you know, it's definitely a good amount. But this is not just a Blu-ray haul. Oh no, I'm going to be showing you a couple of other cool things that I got over Christmas. I'm going to show you a couple of really neat video games that I got. And this is going to be PS4, by the way, not PS5. Man, I wasn't lucky enough to get one of those. In a sense, though, I'm kind of glad I don't have a PS5 right now because, well, I mean, if you've seen Jingle All the Way, I don't want to get into a Turbo Man scuffle right now. But yeah, I've got some video games. I've also got some cool Funko Pops that I'm going to be showing you here. They're all WWE related, so I thought I'd just throw that in for this month's Blu-ray haul as well and make one big video out of it. But I'm actually going to start off this haul by showing you something that is actually a really, really neat gift, and it actually goes all the way back to May when I first started off this channel. This is actually directly related to one of the very first reviews I ever did, if not my first one, and here it is. This is the Survivor Winners at War Merge Tribe buff. The Koru tribe, I believe they called it. I mean, like, look at this thing. It is just, if you can call a Survivor buff badass, that's the one right there. And it was between this one and the blue Cele buff, but I ended up choosing this one just because, I mean, again, look at it. It's really neat. It also really helps when you're living in a pandemic right now to have one of these, because it does spark some pretty cool conversations with people that you never knew were Survivor fans. But yeah, there you go. Survivor Winners at War Merch Tribe buff. It's really, really awesome. But next we're gonna get into, we'll go Pops first. Like I said, I don't have very many Funko Pops. These are just a few of them that I got. First one up is a 2-pack, actually. This one's pretty cool. You got Hulk Hogan and Mr. T right here. These two guys, of course, teamed together the very first main event of WrestleMania all the way back in 1985. They came away the winners against Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff and the late great Roddy Piper. And I believe this is an Amazon exclusive pop, and these, I believe, are the attires they wore at the first WrestleMania. So very, very cool set right there. Next one up, speaking of the Mega Powers, Hulk Hogan had another tag team partner back in the late 80s, Macho Man Randy Savage. And here he is, right here. Macho Man Pop. I mean, look at this, guys. This is just so neat. I love the glasses on this. I just love the pink all over. Macho Man was so awesome. Nobody could cut a promo like this guy right here. He was the cream of the crop, as he would say. Yeah. I love him. Now, speaking of loving, this is probably one of the greatest characters in all of WWE history. Just retired this year. You have the Undertaker pop. He's wearing the WrestleMania 29 entrance attire with the really nice pop number on top. His eyes are rolled back as he did every single night when he walked to the ring, and I still have no idea how he managed to do that. But keeping on the subject of incredible characters, this is probably the most captivating character in all of WWE today. I got the Fiend pop. This is apparently one of the more rare ones out there, but you can definitely see why. This is just one of the coolest pops. This is probably my favorite pop in my whole collection. This is definitely up there with another pop that I have of Hannibal Lecter. If you guys want me to do a whole pop collection, these are really, really neat to, like, these are really awesome little items here. So if you guys do want to see a pop collection video, please consider liking the video also. Let's say, let's do 20 likes. If you guys give me 20 likes, I'll do a whole pop collection. Next up, we got some games to look at. Once again, PS4 only, not PS5, because I hear scalpers are asking for a lot. But first game up is Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I believe this is one of the remasters. I am such a huge fan of Crash Bandicoot. I love those, I love those old school PlayStation games. As I did not remember how difficult they were. I did manage to beat the first 2 games, though, but I'm glad to have another Crash game in the collection. I did not manage to get my hands on Crash Bandicoot 4, unfortunately. I'm looking to get my hands on that soon, but for now, this is a nice little fun arcade game. Thank you, Jake. Speaking of thank you, Jake, check this out. I played this game a little bit already. Haven't gotten too far into the campaign, but here it is. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I mean, it's Assassin's Creed and Vikings, guys. How can you beat this? But the trailer and the images of this game on the PS5 are just immaculate. I mean, it does genuinely look amazing. It is photorealistic, but these graphics are still pretty amazing for the PS4. Speaking of pretty amazing graphics for the PS4, here you go. The sequel to probably my favorite game I've played through yet, Spider-Man Miles Morales. And yes, I did change out the interchangeable cover. I did flip it out. I mean, look at this. This just legitimately looks like a movie cover. You got Miles in the suit on the front, and of course you have him on the back right there. I don't know why people are going out of their way to get the PS5 for this right now. I mean, I understand why. The graphics are immaculate and incredible, but then again, they changed Peter Parker's design on PS5 to look like a 12-year-old kid, and he looks just fine in this on the PS4. He looked just fine in the first game, so I really don't understand why they had to change up the design, but yeah, looking forward to beating this. Again, I haven't really gotten very far in either one of these big campaign games as of recording this, but I'm definitely very, very excited to find out what happens eventually. But here we are, big stack of Blu-rays now. Most of these were on sale. You guys probably know the drill with these. I'm just gonna pull these movies over one by one, no particular order. I'm gonna go kid-friendly first this time, because these are 2 films that I think are heavily underrated from DreamWorks. You got Over the Hedge, and you got Flushed Away right here. Flushed Away is one I haven't seen in a really long time. It took me forever to figure out that this was Hugh Jackman, and I'm like, perfect. Then you have Over the Hedge right here. Bruce Willis voices this little raccoon guy over here. This is a movie that is filled with some cliches that do annoy me, but it is still very fun. Steve Carell as Hammy, I mean, how can you top that? Speaking of child-friendly, you got Who Named Roger Rabbit, directed by Robert Zemeckis. I can't believe I didn't own this yet. I mean, this is just an instant classic. It is zany, it is over the top, it is everything you would want a film just like this to be. Alright, next up, these are 3 blind buys, actually, all directed by the same guy, but I hear nothing but incredible things about these. You got Bone Tomahawk right here. Whoops, sorry for the glare. You got Bone Tomahawk. You got Brawl in Cell Block 99, and you have Dragged Across Concrete, his most recent film. I'm hearing all 3 of these. Dragged Across Concrete is more mixed, but I'm hearing nothing but good things about these 2 specifically. If I were to predict which film I would like more, Brawl in Cell Block 99, of course, is this is what I hear is Vince Vaughn's comeback performance. But Bone Tomahawk is a Western scary film. Yeah, definitely very excited to check out these 3 right here. And, oh, here we go. Next up is a very, very interesting film directed by Alex Garland. Here's Annihilation, starring Natalie Portman and Oscar Isaac. I'll never forget my experience going to the theater late at night to see this. This is a really good rainy day film, and it's very, very trippy. My friends and I were just freaking out over how bizarre it was. But yeah, I can't wait to rewatch this eventually. It's been a while. Speaking of bizarre, you got Elysium, starring Matt Damon. It's directed by Neil Blomkamp, who also directed District 9, which is a film I'm actually not that big of a fan of. But honestly, I can't remember whether or not I've actually seen Elysium. Like, I do know that Matt Damon and Jodie Foster are both in this, for sure, and I remember seeing at least images of them, but I don't remember, ever, actually sitting through the whole thing. But regardless, I'm definitely excited to check this one out. Oh, here we go. Quentin Tarantino time. I can't believe I didn't own this already, but here's Jackie Brown. Not one of his best films, admittedly, but it's Tarantino. You can't really go wrong with any of his stuff. I mean, the dude's a damn genius. Speaking of blood and gore with Brad Pitt, World War Z. Not gonna lie, I actually really dig World War Z. I really don't care what you guys tell me. This is just a fun zombie flick. Brad Pitt is his usual awesome self. The zombies aren't the best, admittedly. They're not like the Walking Dead zombies or even the Zombieland zombies. But I definitely have fond memories of going to the theater to check this out. Back when my dad and my brother and I were all hardcore Walking Dead fans. I stopped watching Walking Dead a while ago, but yeah, I'm definitely, this may get me back in the mood to finish it. Alright, next up is probably one of the most underrated films on this stack. You got The Gifts with Joel Edgerton, Jason Bateman, and Rebecca Hall. This film really got under my skin the first time I watched it. I mean, it was just so intense and white-knuckled for however long it was. But yeah, I cannot wait to rewatch this again. And of course, you gotta throw in some classics right here by Nolan Polanski. This is the only one in the set that I have for right now, but here's Chinatown, starring Jack Nicholson. This is a film I've actually never seen. I know, everybody voice your ats down in the comments below with how uncultured I am. But yeah, Chinatown, I cannot wait to watch this finally. It has been on my list for a really long time. And Jack Nicholson is one of my favorite actors of all time, so you can't really go wrong with this one. Speaking of something that you can never go wrong with, I did a whole series on this channel in the build-up to this year, and I'm so glad to finally have a copy of it in my possession. I was lucky enough to see this in theaters earlier this year, but now I can rewatch this film again and again. Yep, I got my hands on a copy of Tenet right here. I'm not going to go over all my thoughts with this. I did a full in-depth review on this. If you guys are curious about this, I'll leave a link to that in the end card. But I love this film. It's Christopher Nolan. Again, can't really go wrong. And finally, this is probably one of my favorite pickups of this Blu-ray haul. It's not a movie. It is one of my favorite TV series of all time, and what I consider to be the best sitcom of all time. I got my hands on all 10 seasons of Friends. This is one of the most quotable series I can remember. I have so many friends that I can just go up to, no pun intended, but I can just go up to them and I can just do a random quote from any one of the episodes and they'll be like, I know what you're talking about, and we're going to do this whole bit. Now, some of you are probably wondering why on earth would I invest in all 10 seasons on physical media when it's probably all out there on streaming. And it is on HBO Max right now, but here's the thing. This series has been on again and off again on Netflix as many times as I can, like, more times than I can remember. So I bought this because it's an insurance policy, just in case a streaming service like Netflix or HBO Max decides to take this off. If they do, I got them all right here. And I won't experience any internet lag, you know, even if it was on streaming, so... And it does look immaculate. I have watched quite a few episodes on this set already. I mean, why wouldn't I? It's Friends. But yeah, if you guys are not familiar with this show, definitely educate yourself because it is... I will admit, yeah, the comedy is very dated. But what really works about it is the chemistry of these six right here. They just play off of each other so incredibly well. I love it. You know, this was just an insane haul. You got Pops, you got Blu-rays, you got video games. I think I'm set to go into the new year, guys. Once again, please consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. I hope you guys have a blessed and safe new year. I wish you guys all the best. You know what? This was a rough year for all of us, but we did it. There's light at the end of the tunnel, and we're gonna get through this, guys. You guys are the best. Thank you all once again for talking movies with me this year. This channel has been an absolute blast so far, and I can't wait to continue into the new year. You guys are awesome. With all that being said, back talk, commence.